Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm up here today with my dogs, and this is a familiar spot for us and for you guys too actually. The Buddha Stupa is just a couple miles up the hill behind me, and we thought we'd come up here this weekend and bring the pack, bring minimal gear with us, and try to stay the night out here tonight. Right now it's about 21 degrees. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, we're supposed to get a high of about 25. So it's going to get really cold tonight. So obviously, you know, once we get up to our shelter area, priorities are going to be, you know, fire and getting the shelter set up so we can stay warm tonight. So I'm going to grab the dogs, put the pack on, we're going to head up there, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm coming. I'm coming. Come on. Joey, come here. Jojo. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come here, Jojo. Come here. Come here, buddy. Jojo, come here. Come here. It's all right. All right. I got you. Alright, so this will be home for tonight, hopefully. These two guys are starting to act a little restless. I don't know what their deal is, but depending on them, we're going to try to stay the night here. I made the mistake of getting pretty sweaty getting these two up here. These rocks, a little hard for the dogs to navigate. So, got a little sweaty, so I'm going to sit here, cool off a little bit. I took a couple of my layers off. Then we're going to go ahead and start processing some firewood and getting this place windproofed and ready for tonight. So I'm going to cool off and then we'll start getting some firewood. Found these dead little trees up above our shelter here, so I just drug the whole thing down here, just processing them up with my cold steel kukri that my awesome fiance got me as just a surprise gift. No reason, just she heard me mention it one time and she went out and got me one. So coming in pretty useful, processing up this wood. Nice thick end to chop and slice through this stuff. So working pretty good. One of the things that I wanted to do this weekend on purpose was not bring any kind of butane stove or sterno fuel or anything. I wanted to cook all my food right over the fire. You can see I've got some rocks set up, and that's for my Purcell Trench Packers grill. You can see it's just nice and flat, carry bag, and it's just a grill with a small metal frame. And I'm going to do a full-out review on these later because I think they're a really great item to carry in a day pack, especially if you're going to cook over an open fire. And I've set up my rocks for that to sit right up there, and that's how I'm going to cook all my food this weekend. So I just thought I'd show you guys that real quick. Well, I've got the area laid out for me and the dogs to sleep in tonight. As you can see, I just brought a wool blanket and a sleeping bag cover. I didn't bring a sleeping bag up here, but I'm going to set up a reflective backdrop so the heat from the fire can reflect back down on me. I've got the fire over here. I don't know if you can see it from up there. But this is where we're going to be sleeping tonight. Maybe a little bit closer to the fire, depending on how cold it gets. So, the dog's are already ready to go to bed, and it's only 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Warm out coming up here. And what do you got? Well, this is my first time trying to get a fire going using cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, so we're going to give it a try. Never tried this way before, but You always got to try to learn, right? Not bad. I decided to try something new today. You can see I've got my USGI canteen cup. I got to be careful not to use too much water while making tea and soup and stuff, just because there's no other water source up here. But what I did is I put some lentils, some lima beans, and some split peas in a baggie with some beef bouillon cubes. I'm going to try to make a soup just using the fire in my canteen cup. Never tried it before. Thought it might be pretty good to try out. And I've got my spice tin to throw some salt and pepper in there too. So I'm going to give it a try for lunch. You can hear my water in there boiling for my soup, and just started kind of thinking that, you know, the beef bouillon, although it'll add a little bit of beef flavor, I think it'd be quite enough. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few pieces of my beef jerky in there. This is peppered, so it should be pretty good inside the soup. Take some of the smaller pieces and drop them in there, and hopefully that'll add a little bit of flavor and be pretty good. But give it about 10 more minutes of boiling like that. Should be pretty good. While I'm waiting for my soup to finish boiling up, I'm also going to throw some bannock on my Purcell Trench Packer grill here. And all I did was took some flour, some baking powder, a little bit of salt, and some raisins. I'm going to put that right over those coals on my grill and let that cook up and see how that turns out. This is actually part of my Bushcraft USA bush classes. One of the requirements is to make some bannock over a fire. So that was one of my reasons for coming up here this weekend also, was to work on some of those requirements for my certification. And so there is my bannock over a fire. And I will definitely let you know how it turns out, because I've never tried it before. I just took the bannock off the grill. You can see it got a little bit burnt. The coals were, you know, a little too hot, but it's hard to, you know, regulate the heat out here. But like I said, I've never tried this, so here goes. Not bad. You know, I mean, it's just basically a biscuit. I added raisins in it, but you know, cooked over the open fire, that's really good. I'll definitely be making more of this when I go out. So if you ever get a chance, you know, just mix up some flour, a little tiny bit of salt, a little bit of baking powder, and you know, add water and just knead it till it's doughy. Put it in a baggie and take it with you. And Joey just tripped over my tripod, so sorry about that little wiggle there. Well, soup's done, and again, I've never tried doing this before while I'm out here making a soup out of dry lentils and lima beans and whatnot. So while it's still hot, we're going to give it a try and see how it is. that's not bad. You know, it's hot, obviously, but I could have probably boiled it for a little bit longer. There's still some hard pieces in here, but it's not bad. You know, I added the peppered beef jerky in there and added a lot of flavor, but it's pretty good, and I'll probably be trying to do this more often. So, yep, that's good. One of the requirements for the Bushcraft certification is to make a pot hook using, you know, a natural material like a branch or a stick. And that's all I'm doing, is I'm cutting out a notch right now for my hook. And so when I build an A-frame over my fire pit and I have a cross beam, I can hang this on the cross beam and hang my pot off of the hook right here. And what I'll do is I'll make a few different notches in it so I can actually adjust the level depending on how big my fire is or how fast I need something to heat up inside of my pot. So, working on my pot hook. Just so you guys can see what we're having for dinner. See that big fat lamb chop sitting on my grill, just slowly cooking over the hot coals. So that'll be dinner tonight, just letting it slowly cook. Well guys, as much as I'd hate to do it, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Go ahead and stop this overnighter. My dogs, they're just shivering like crazy, you know, and I'm not willing to risk their health, their safety for me to stay out here. I'm sitting right by the fire, and you can already see my breath. You can see the dog's breath. They're starting to whine a little bit. So I'm going to call it a night and pack up, start heading back towards the Jeep, and you know, I'll take a roundabout way, see if we can find anything interesting on the way back. And you know, it's too bad. You know, I thought the dogs could handle it, but you know, a little colder than I expected. And like I said, they're indoor dogs. They're not used to being out like this. So I'll see you in a little bit. You know, I'll turn the cameras back on our way back if we find anything interesting. So stay tuned. It's been quite a chore getting these dogs out of here, out of these rock formations. I've been having to pick them up on some of the bigger ledges and even carry Joey for a while. And he actually started sliding down a rock face, and I banged myself up pretty good trying to catch him, keep him from going over the ledge. Banged my knee pretty hard, and just trying to make it back to the Jeep without any more problems. But I'm going to sit here, take a break for a little bit, drink some water. Yeah, you're the one that banged me up. Yep. But I'll be all right. Just going to take a break and keep pressing on, get back to the Jeep. Well guys, we're getting back to the Jeep and gonna head home now. Unfortunately, we weren't able to stay the night up here. Lesson learned, don't take your domesticated indoor dogs camping with you. Kind of ruins the fun. But the important part is we're all going home safe and healthy, and that's what it's all about. So you guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, go out and live. I stopped down here real quick to take some pictures of the Long Lake Dam that I'm by, and caught this guy flying down by the river, landed up in the tree.